But do you want to talk about the theater thing?
Sure. So, Kyle, I certainly have owned up to my night out in Denver, and you know I've gone on that public apology tour, and I'm grateful for the mercy and grace that has been shown. But I'm not going to continue to live life in shame and be beat up by this. And you know, I would like to go back to my legislative record for just a second.
We're not going to do that. You had plenty of time to answer the question. You chose not to.
Sure.
That's fine. I just want to make sure.
I'll have more time.
And you have apologized for the theater incident.
I certainly have.
And I just want to make sure. Did you apologize for the behavior that went on with you and your date or the vaping,
Kyle,
or did you apologize, or pardon me, or did you apologize for lying to voters about what you did that night and the disrespect that you showed to service workers that night? What specifically were you apologizing for?
I don't believe there was disrespect. There were things that were absolutely taken out of context.
There's video of your interactions with service workers. I'm asking.
Welcome back to What Was That? I'm Gabe Sanchez. If you thought the theater-groping, election-denying, district-swapping criminal Congresswoman Lauren Boebert couldn't get any more pathetic, just wait till you see her get absolutely destroyed in her most recent Republican debate. Boebert spent most of the debate fighting off attacks from her truth-seeking arch-nemesis Kyle Clark and the candidates within her own party.
Who here believes that if Republican primary voters nominate Ms. Boebert, that she could realistically lose in November? Mr. Lynch, Ms. Flora, and Mr. Yu say they believe that she could realistically lose. Do you believe that she could lose in November?
It's very possible, yes.
Okay,
I'm going to raise my hand just to clarify. It's possible.
Okay, thank you.
Now, the constituents of Colorado's 4th District don't want to talk to Boebert because they don't like her.
But what worries me is because I said earlier I do feel the seat's in jeopardy. The reason why is because unaffiliates and even moderate-leaning constituents do not know you, don't like you.
They see her switch for what it actually is, a desperate attempt to stay in Congress to become eligible for a lifetime congressional pension that we, the taxpayers, are covering. Simply put, Lauren Boebert is a
carpetbagger.
Remember during the last GOP congressional debate when State Representative Mike Lynch asked Boebert to define carpetbagger?
Since the young lady at the end of the table decided to talk about my gun rights, I'd like to ask her just a really simple question, and that is, could you give the definition of carpetbagger to me?
1 minute.
Is this a Mary Poppins question?
Cheeky. Boebert loves to claim that the reason that she abandoned her constituents in Colorado's 3rd District and switched to the 4th District is because that's what's best for her family.
Personally, this announcement is a fresh start following a pretty difficult year for me and my family.
And to that I say,
bullshit!
Just like any politician in office, regardless of race, color, national origin, sex, gender, religion, or age, the right move for her family would be to resign and focus on, you know, her family. At this point, the Boebert crime family is really adding up. Hey, Boebert, here's a free tip. Resign and step away from the limelight to focus on helping your criminal son, who was arrested on multiple felony charges and can't afford a lawyer, instead of clout chasing and partying with Donald Trump. Or, better yet, if you plan on doing your job, don't skip Congress to support Donald Trump's trial when you won't even show up to your own son's hearings. Gotta love how Republicans scream, protect the children, but they won't even lift a finger for their own kids. So yeah, when Boebert says this is what's best for her family, what she actually means is this move is what's best for her and her alone. Now, if you thought Boebert was the only insane Republican fool on stage, I'd like to point your attention to State Representative Mike Lynch.
You resigned your position as House Minority Leader after your drunk driving arrest surfaced this year. And my question is not about what you did while drunk, which for anybody who missed it was speeding up I-25 at 90 miles per hour so fast a trooper thought that you were trying to race him. Then you reached for your gun during the traffic stop. You asked the trooper to call the State Patrol's lobbyist. Then you asked him to keep the arrest out of the media. My question to you is about what you did while sober. You did not disclose your drunk driving arrest to your Republican colleagues when they were considering you for leader and electing you.
Yeah.
What does that tell voters about your judgment?
Everyone needs to take note of Kyle Clark. This is how you moderate a debate.
Well, thank you, Kyle, for that. I mean, I think this is a little bit of you guys being a little sore because you didn't catch this for, you know, quite some time. This was all public knowledge, right? So I didn't disclose, I didn't hide anything from anybody.
No, it was not public knowledge. Lynch literally tried to hide the footage and report of him getting arrested in 2022 for a DUI and possessing a firearm while intoxicated.
We're not going to reach for guns when we're out talking to the police.
Yes, sir. No,
right?
Yes, sir.
State representative from here, and if there's anything we can do to kind of
keep the press out of this, that'd be great.
And this is the moment that Mike Lynch brought Beetlejuice the Musical into the debate, which I'm assuming was his attempt to get back at her dig at him during the last debate.
We are a nation of laws. All of us raised our hands saying that we have been held accountable for the laws that we have broken. We have paid our dues to society. Some of us are still paying them. I hope you get your gun rights back soon, sir. And
Boebert might want to stay quiet on this one, especially since she has a long arrest history, as well as trying to cover up her own son's car crash.
This happened, at a time that was, this was before even we had theater incidents or anything else that was embarrassing to folks.
That was about the softest reference that he could have made, but do you want to talk about the theater thing?
Now, this next exchange between Lauren Boebert and Kyle Clark is a masterclass on how to eviscerate someone on the debate stage.
Sure. So, Kyle, I certainly have owned up to my night out in Denver, and I've gone on that public apology tour.
Public apology tour? Lauren Boebert denied it happened, then lied about it, then tried to cover up the lie, and then made jokes about it.
And I'm grateful for the mercy and grace that has been shown, but I'm not going to continue to live life in shame and be beat up by this. And I would like to go back to my legislative record for just a second.
We're not going to do that. You had plenty of time to answer the question. You chose not to.
Sure.
That's fine. I just want to make sure.
I'll have more time.
And you have
Don't
apologized for the theater incident.
I certainly have.
And I just want to make sure. Did you apologize for the behavior that went on with you and your date or the vaping,
Kyle,
or did you did you apologize for lying to voters about what you did that night and the disrespect that you showed to service workers that night? What specifically were you apologizing for?
I don't believe there was disrespect. There were things that were absolutely taken out of context.
There's video of your interactions with service workers. I'm asking,
right,
are you apologizing for the lying to voters or the business?
It's been reported that I flipped someone off, and I did not. So, I mean, I think it's been very mischaracterized.
Mischaracterized? I would not argue with Kyle Clark on this one, the guy who broke the story about the Beetlejuice Grope Fest.
Boebert. Say it 3 times and she appears in security video from a weekend performance of Beetlejuice, where the congresswoman was kicked out of the theater for being disruptive. The DCPA says she was vaping. Boebert's team denied that, said the haze was from fog machines in the show. That claim goes up in smoke when you see the video. The pregnant woman sitting behind Boebert told the Denver Post she asked her to stop vaping, and Boebert refused. Her one-woman show continued, taking flash photos, raising her hands and dancing, often the only one clapping or standing up in the crowd. Boebert occasionally took a break from being disruptive to enjoy the company of her male companion. He briefly had a grasp on the situation before ushers returned and told Boebert she had to leave. The theater's incident report says Boebert pulled the "Don't you know who I am" card on the way out, giving theater employees the single-finger salute.
This is MAGA. They made their bed, and now they're going to have to lie in it. And speaking of beds, I want to thank today's sponsor, Miracle Made. Did you know that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses, and it's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands, and feel as nice if not nicer than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Go to trymiracle.com/Gabe to try Miracle Sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo Gabe at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Gabe and use the code Gabe to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Gabe to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Let's get back to the debate stage where Boebert is squirming as she tries to explain what happened.
I'm apologizing for you, Kyle Clark, getting footage and releasing that. and people seeing this in a very private moment.
Certainly. It was very important to figure out whether you were telling
listen,
the truth
you just had
or
an
whether a
interview
public
recently with
agency was
CityCast
lying about your
Denver.
conduct.
You just
Either
had
way was
an
very
interview with
important for
CityCast
folks
Denver,
to
and you were
find
saying
out.
how disgusting it is
We're
to
talk about
record someone
earmarks in
without their
Congress.
knowledge.
Private moment released without her knowledge? Boebert was caught on the theater security camera vaping and giving her date an over-the-pants hand job in the middle of Beetlejuice the Musical while she got her breast fondled in front of families and little kids. So much for protect the children, I guess. I just want to point out that none of the Republicans running for Colorado's 4th District are good politicians, let alone good people.
You told a State House colleague who had lost his son in the Aurora Theater shooting that he needed to let go of his son's murder. You called a legislator of color buckwheat during a floor debate. You suggested that people with disabilities are like people who took the risk of running with the bulls in Pamplona. And you suggested that Miss Boebert dresses like a prostitute. Do you regret saying any of those things? And why do you talk to people like that?
Cal, thank you for the question. Most people know that I'm a straight, no-nonsense conservative.
But despite them not being good people, I sure love when they attack each other.
How many bills did you prime sponsor? I said 38, I prime sponsored, not co-sponsor, because you can co-sponsor post facto. Anybody can put their name on a bill after it passes. How many bills did you prime sponsor in the U.S. Congress that actually were signed by the President of the United States? You can answer the question, ma'am. It's okay.
Will. So,
I asked a very specific question. Please answer it.
But there are also many other pieces of legislation that I've passed through the House. And
it doesn't matter if it's passed through the House. If the President doesn't sign it, ma'am,
government, and I'm not going to compromise my principles to just pass a bill.
Oh my gosh, can we please vet candidates before they get elected, or at the very least have them watch Schoolhouse Rock, because Lauren Boebert doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
And if he signs me, then I'll be alone. How I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
I would give you one more opportunity if you would like to answer his question, which is the number of bills you've prime sponsored that have been signed by the president.
So my Pueblo Jobs Act has been signed into law.
A number, please.
That is one.
Got it.
During the whole debate, Boebert kept trying to brag about how she passed 80 bills when really, it was just one. And even that number is iffy since she didn't even actually author the bill. And speaking of bills, I just want to thank Kyle Clark again for calling out Boebert for taking credit for bills that she voted against.
You've repeatedly taken credit for projects in Colorado that you asked for funding for, but then you voted against the bill in the end. Bridge over the Roaring Fork River in Glenwood Springs, water treatment plant in Gunnison, I-70 interchange in Grand Junction. You're able to vote no and get the praise for voting no because you know that there are enough other Republicans who are willing to vote for those bills so they'll pass. My question for you is this, and just a short answer, it truly is a yes or no question. If you were the deciding vote, would you still have voted no and killed all of those projects in Colorado that you now take credit for?
Yes, and I would have worked for a process. I would have worked for a process to get those over the line, but I worked to get those in, and I have had over 80 initiatives signed into law.
Boebert is still trying to claim that she passed 80 bills even after just being exposed for lying and only passing one.
We've seen how my opponent, Lauren Boebert, would represent us. She's abandoned her neighbors in CD3. She has missed key votes while chasing cameras. She has also been in the center of DC drama instead of doing the real work of the people.
Well, that's all for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and feel free to follow me at I Am Gabe Sanchez. What Was That is made possible by viewers like you. And if you'd like to support the show and get early access to content, you can contribute to my personal Patreon at patreon.com/IamGabeSanchez. Thank you for your support. So until next episode, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?